Alright, hello everybody. I'm going to go ahead and get started today. And as everybody comes in, or if you're watching a replay, today I'm making spring rolls. This morning I did a live and I showed where I prepared my vegetables, so I'm going to go over that quickly and get started. Rice paper, $1.49 from my local international store. You can get it from your big box store like Walmart, Kroger's, etc. $1.49 for your rice paper. I'm using the medium-sized ones today. Earlier this morning, I prepared all of my fresh vegetables, which is mung bean sprouts. I like spicy, so I'm putting jalapeno peppers, little bit of cabbage with carrot, green onions, and leftover rotisserie chicken that we had left over from another meal. You can also use shrimp, or you can leave them vegetarian. You can put whatever you want in your spring rolls. They're your meals. So this is what I'm using today. Mung bean sprouts, jalapeno pepper, which is unusual, but remember these are for me. Cabbage with carrots, green onions, and rotisserie chicken. So for my sauce, when I get through making my spring rolls, and I've already gotten started, I'm not doing the fried spring rolls. These are just your regular traditional rice paper spring rolls. For my sauce, I'm going to be using chili garlic sauce, pure sesame oil. Thank you so much. It's going to be delicious. Peanut butter. If you have peanut allergies, of course, then leave that out. Okay. I don't have oyster sauce, so I'm going to use the teriyaki. And then for a little sweetness, the sweet chili sauce. So let's get started. I'm not probably going to be talking a whole lot because I'm going to be rolling. I am going to be rolling delicious spring rolls. So let's get started on our spring rolls. Alright. You're going to take your rice paper, okay, and then I've got a plate of cold water. Make sure that you use cold water, tap water. You dip your rice paper for 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When you pull out your rice paper, you can put it on a plate or your cutting board or your kitchen counter. And there we go right there with your rice paper. Just a second, y'all. Just 1 second. The thing about using the cold water with the rice paper, then everything still holds up. So here we go. There's your rice paper. It's firm, but watch how it's going to hold up. See, it's still firm. Still paper-like. So now let's put in our ingredients. We're using mung bean sprouts. Now these are your spring rolls. Make them how you want them, but I'm using mung bean sprouts. You can make them all vegetarian, chicken, shrimp, whatever you want to put in them. These are yours to make, but I'm using mung bean sprouts. I love spicy, so I'm putting non-traditional jalapenos in mine because they're for me and I like them spicy. Remember, they're yours. You make them how you and your family like. I bought the coleslaw mix after we had coleslaw and burgers. I've got some left over, just cabbage and carrots. Didn't have to cut up a thing. Green onions, the green tops. Leftover rotisserie chicken. And like I said, these are yours, so you can make them vegetarian or whatever you want to put in them. Today I'm using this leftover rotisserie chicken to use it up. Always take your food that you have left over. See, God is so good. You know I'm getting started on it. God is so good that He overly blesses us. This was one rotisserie chicken that we've had rotisserie chicken and also chicken salad, and I'm using the rest for these spring rolls. Now you're going to take your, and I'll pick the plate up in just a second. You're going to roll your paper over. You put your ingredients down at the 1/3 bottom of the rice paper, and you tuck it and pull it in. And then you're going to roll it like a burrito. You bring your sides up, and then you continue to roll. In just a minute, I'll show you. Just that easy. Just like making a burrito. Very simple. Rice paper down, veggies, meat down, or just veggies. Roll it, turn up your sides, and then just roll it until it seals. So, this is what I've made so far. This is great to get your kids in the kitchen too. Delicious. And like I said, my sauce over here is going to be the chili garlic sauce, sesame oil, peanut butter, sweet chili sauce, and normally it's oyster sauce, but I don't have that, so I'm going to use the teriyaki. So let's keep rolling. Alright, so once again, and I hope you make these. These are good. Like, we're coming up on, Christmas, and you know how we make a lot of food. And then sometimes you want your hors d'oeuvres and stuff to just be light. I'm going to go ahead and take a couple of these out. I normally take out about 1 to 2 at a time. I don't know why. But I always leave them in the package for some reason. And when you get ready to buy, like these were $1.49 at my local international store. Your local international store is like your Asian market where you've got Asian products, African products, any kind of sauces and seasonings that you want to buy. I got these rice papers because they were $1.39, and it's about 30 or 40 of these in here. You cannot beat that. If you don't have an international market in your town, then go to Walmart, Kroger's, whatever your largest box store is. And if you don't have that, you may live in Alaska, I don't know. Then go on Amazon or go online. And you can check out your different brands. I normally just buy whatever is on sale. These were $1.39. And what I like about these, look at the package. It came with the instructions. Tells you just how to make your spring rolls. And I love that because if for some reason I need an idea, like they've got cucumber, I think those are called bean shoots, if I'm saying it right. They've got even the noodles, the white noodles that they put in there. If I say, hey, I need a new recipe, or I forget how to make these, I keep this paper when I get through using them. And it's so easy, y'all. And look at that. It's even got a little dipping sauce on there, give you ideas. So, $1.39 for about 30 or 40 of these in here. So, I'll just buy whatever works for me at the time. Okay, let's keep going. This time I took out 3 of my rice papers. Normally, like I said, I take out 1 at a time. I don't know why. Hold on 1 second, y'all. 1 second. Hi. Alright, let's keep making spring rolls. So once again, your plate, rice paper, another plate with cold water. It doesn't have to be cold water, just room temperature water. Just make sure it's not hot. Dip in your rice paper for 5 seconds. Your rice paper is still going to be firm. There's your rice paper. Put it on your plate, or if you're using your countertop, but I suggest a plate. Mung bean sprouts. You're going to go to the bottom portion of your rice paper. Jalapeno pepper, because I like it spicy. I need a few more bean sprouts. Cabbage with carrots. Remember, make them yours. I'm just using up leftover coleslaw. Nothing goes to waste in this household because God is too good to provide for us, so we ain't wasting nothing. And then it gives delicious, exciting meals too. Love it. Then we're going to use the green onions. You can use the white part too, but today I'm just using the green. Leftover rotisserie chicken. You can use shrimp or you can leave them vegetarian. Like I said, these are yours. It's your house, honey. And it's how you make your food in your house. And how I make mine in mine. So there we go. Got it on the plate. And now we're going to roll from the bottom over one time. And then we're going to fold in like we're making us a burrito. And we'll have our spring roll. Y'all, it's so fun to make though. For me it is. So let's roll over. I know you can't see it. Let's roll it over. I'm going to pick it up though for you. Going to roll it over like a burrito. Fold in your ends. Roll, fold, roll. Roll, fold, roll. You can't mess it up. And there we are. There we are, our delicious spring roll. Y'all, we getting somewhere. We got a whole container. We got a whole container. So far, this is my favorite one, y'all. This is my favorite one that I've rolled. And I challenge myself all the time, y'all, to see how good I can roll them. But this is my favorite one. But as you can see, they're all delicious. Perfectly rolled. You can see your veggies. So let's keep going. Normally, I do not stack these because, see, they'll stick together. They'll stick together temporarily until you put them in the fridge. So normally, and actually, I'm getting ready to get out my other container. Matter of fact, let me stop and do that now. Because these have gluten in them. So anything that's gluten is just like it says, gluten like glue. So we're going to stop right quick, and I'm going to get out a different container because until I put these in the refrigerator, they're going to try to stick together, and I don't want to mess them up. So let me get out my other container. We'll be good to go. I'm pulling out my big lady. This is normally what I use after Christmas and Thanksgiving, y'all. Because it holds a whole lot of leftovers and food. So I'm going to go ahead and transfer my spring rolls into here. That way we've got plenty of room and they don't stick. I'm ready to eat one. And y'all, the sauce is so simple and easy. Now just remember, if you got peanut allergies, I'm going to get through and make the sauce and show you that. I'm going to roll a couple of more of the spring rolls, and then I want to make the sauce because I want you to see this delicious sauce. It's so simple to put together. But remember, if you got peanut allergies, do not make this one because it's got peanut butter. There is a simple one. You can just use chili sauce and sriracha and sesame oil. It's up to you. Like I said, customize everything the way you like it. Ooh, he's looking so good, y'all. Alright. We got a half a dozen, y'all. Looking good, too. Now, I've got the half a dozen spring rolls that I've made so far. Chicken, jalapeno pepper, green onion, mung bean sprouts, and cabbage and carrots. Make them the way you want them, honey. But these are mine for the night. So let's keep going. I'm still going to need this container because a little bit goes a long way, y'all. That's what I like about these too. You see I'm using very few ingredients. And look at the size of these spring rolls, y'all. This is a 18-inch bowl container. So look at just a half a dozen, 6 of them, how big they are and how hearty. Just using a few ingredients. So I'm going to need this container too. Let's keep going. Let's finish these up real quick and then we're going to make the sauce. Rice paper. Enter your cold water for 5 seconds. And it's so fun and therapeutic too. Love it. Do you want to teach your children at an early age? Then just have them, make sure that they wash their hands real good. Get them in that kitchen and do that assembly line. Or it may be one child that want to learn. Rice paper, cold water. This is cold water. See, the rice paper still firm. 5-second soak. And we're going to switch it up. This time we're going to put our jalapenos on the bottom. A little bit of cabbage and carrot. Our mung bean sprouts. And our green onions. And our chicken. We're getting down to the last of the chicken, so we're going to make these into some bigger ones because we're down to a little bit of rotisserie chicken. So now that you're at the end of your spring roll, you're going to fold it over like a burrito. Tuck in the sides. You're just sealing it up. Roll, fold, roll. Roll, fold, roll. So we rolled it, we folded the ends, and rolled. And look at that delicious spring roll. You cannot beat that. Absolutely delicious. We got 7 right now. Let's wrap these up because I want to show you how to make the sauce. And you're going to make your sauce the way you want to make yours now. Because like I said, if you got peanut allergies, then you don't want to use peanut butter. You make your own sauce. Rice paper into cold water. Tap water. 5 seconds. Rice paper is still going to be firm. Onto your plate. I say use a plate because you can control it. It's just like it says, rice paper. That's the magic of it. Mung bean sprouts down. Jalapeno peppers, I like it spicy. More sprouts. A little bit of cabbage and carrot. Remember, make it your own. These are going to be your spring rolls like these are mine. Green onion, love it. Rotisserie chicken, use your shrimp. Make them vegetarian, doesn't matter. Whatever you like, it's your kitchen. It's your spring roll. Now we're going to roll. Roll. Tuck. Like a burrito. And roll. So roll, tuck, and roll. Or roll, fold, and roll. You can't go wrong. So easy. Look at that. Let's keep going. We got about 3 to make. Let's make those and then let's make this sauce. I do want to show you that. And like I said, if you've got peanut allergies, the sauce I'm going to make does have peanut butter. So if you got peanut allergies, don't use this. Leave everything else out. Or go in there and Google a simple sauce that you might like. Or buy it. Alright. Rice paper. Cold water. Onto our plate. Mung bean sprouts. I love these things. Even in my salads. Love them. You know what? If you've got an international food market in your hometown, take advantage of it. It has everything you ever want to buy when, or you get from the restaurants, every kind of sauce. I'm putting jalapenos in mine. Remember, this mine now. Make yours how you want to make them at home, but I love spicy. I gotta have a spicy. Now, lo and behold, the children will not be eating these, so that's why I'm actually putting that jalapeno in there, which is not even traditional, but these are actually for me. Our onion. If you want to see the preparation that I did for the vegetables this morning, I did a live this morning. Very simple. All I did was, it took me about 10 minutes to cut up everything. Leftover rotisserie chicken. And remember, if you want to do veggie style, them Yo Spring rolls. Okay. Now here we go again. We're going to roll, fold over the ends like a burrito. I got to keep saying it. And roll. And it seals itself. Like I said, so easy to make. So fun. Alright. You know what, this one, the end of it's kind of hard, so I'm going to put another piece of rice paper on this one. See how that one sealed up, but the corner didn't get the water. So this one, I'm just going to take me another piece of rice paper. 5 seconds into the cold water. That's the thing about it too, they're so forgiving. That's why I said let your children or grandchildren, you know, be in the kitchen making them. 5 seconds in your cold water. Doesn't have to be ice cold, room temperature water. And all we're doing is doing a correction because this one didn't seal on the end. So I didn't keep it in the water on that end long enough. That's why I say use a plate so that your rice paper gets fully submerged. And all we're doing is correcting this one because see the end right there? That's opened up. So I'm just putting it on one of the rice papers again. And I'm going to roll. And I'm going to tuck it in. And I'm going to roll. Same thing. So see, that's what's so forgiving about making your spring rolls is because, like I said, if you're teaching a child or teaching yourself and you want to get it down and make them pretty, like for me, I like to have them looking just like I got them from the restaurant. So forgiving. So this one, there it is. I'll probably eat this one first. Alright. We're going to make 2 more and then we're going to go ahead and make our spring roll sauce. Alright. And like I said, you want to make them, put them in a big container because if you stack them on top of each other, they'll stick together because it is rice paper, just like rice is sticky rice. So put them in a big container. Keep them separate so that you can pull them out separate because if not, they'll stick together just like rice because it's rice paper for the covering. So let's make 2 more and then we're going to make our sauce to go with it. So easy to make, so fun to make. I love making these. Every time I make them, I usually try to do something different when I make them, but it's based on what's in my refrigerator. So sometimes they're not so different. They're, you know, having the usual thing left over. Chicken, shrimp, you know, etc. And I just take what's left over and make them. But sometimes I do, like for special occasions, like I was saying for, you know, Christmas and New Year's coming up and you want to make them and serve them to your guests. We got enough chicken to make 1 more, y'all. We're going to make 1 more. Then we're going to make our sauce. But what I like about these is that, you know, you can make them up for your Christmas hors d'oeuvres or your New Year's hors d'oeuvres. Healthy, delicious, easy to make, fun to make. And there you go. You can make all different kinds. If you've got guests that are vegetarians, then you can make them with all veggies. And there we go. Look how beautiful that is. That's why I love making these. They just look so good when you make them. Let's visit. Look how many we made, y'all. Off that one plate of veggies and that little old bit of rotisserie chicken. Little goes a long way. And look, y'all, these things are huge. These ain't no baby spring rolls. Look at that. Look at that. That's a meal in itself, just one. You watching me make it. Let's make 2 more and get on to this sauce. And that's it. But what I love about preparing them for guests that like Christmas time coming up, and you know how you don't want to overeat the night before Christmas or even at New Year's because you're going to have another healthy meal. Overeating, basically. You can have something healthy and delicious, and it serves all your guests. People that like meat, people that don't like meat, and they're fun to make, and then absolutely delicious. Alright, we're going to make this one and one more, and then we're going to make our sauce, and we're going to be done. 5 seconds in the swimming pool for these rice paper ladies. Still be firm when you pull it out. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. That worked out perfectly. We got just enough, y'all, to make these last 2. Thank you, Lord, again. And we're going to have us a little bit of green onion left over. But we're going to put that in a salad or something. Matter of fact, I'm going to just put a little bit of chicken in this one. And more green onion. And more mung bean sprouts. Because we got one more to make. We're going to make it work. So we're going to fold it over. Fold and roll. Tuck it over like a burrito. And roll until you're done. Seals itself. And there we go. Alright, let's make this last one and then let's move on to our sauce. Last one in the swimming pool. 5 seconds into cold water. On your plate. Last ingredients. Mung bean sprouts, jalapeno, cabbage, carrots, leftover coleslaw. Didn't have to chop up nothing. Thank you, Lord, for your mercy and your grace. Your green onion tops. We got a few left over. We're going to just save those for a salad. That's all we got left over. But we'll do that. Put them in the salad. Rotisserie chicken that we've shredded up. Roll. Fold. Like a burrito, and I'm just saying it in case somebody just come in, or if it's somebody that's just learning how to make them. By the time you hear me say that 15 times, then you'll know how to make them. Roll, fold, like a burrito. You'll be like, I remember that lady saying, roll, fold, like a burrito, and then you'll know how to make them too. This is our last Asian spring roll. Y'all, I did the same thing. I kind of put too much in that one trying to use up these vegetables, but I think it's still going to close up. And it did. Very forgiving. Very forgiving. There it is. So now let's take a look. And I want to bite this, y'all. My God. Oh my God, y'all. Good. Oh, it's delicious. Here we are. Oh my God. I'm not exaggerating. No sauce yet. Finna make that real quick. Y'all, this spring roll ain't no joke. Mmm, 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 mmm. Mmm, mmm, mmm. Mmm, mmm, mmm. Let's move this out the way and make our sauce. That's absolutely divine. Tastes better than restaurant. That leftover rotisserie chicken has that amazing flavor. And this is where we debone the leftover rotisserie chicken. It was just like 2 leg quarters. Well, yeah, it was a lot, but didn't take that much. Oh, that's so good. We're going to take our rotisserie chicken that we deboned, and we're going to make a broth off of this. We don't throw nothing away around here. We took that chicken off. We're going to take what's left over, and we're going to make like a broth in the crock pot and make us like a potato soup. So we ain't going to throw this away. We're going to save it because there's so much flavor. Ooh, that's what got the spring rolls tasting so good. Mmm. That rotisserie chicken, y'all, Lord have mercy, already has that good flavor. So whatever you use that rotisserie chicken in is going to be good. So we're going to take from where we shredded the meat off here this morning, put it back in the refrigerator because we're going to take this, not we, but me, and I'm going to put these in my crock pot later on tonight. Let these bones, as they call it, we're going to make like a chicken bone broth from the rotisserie chicken. Let that cook on low all night. Let all that flavor come on off the bones and the pieces of meat that I didn't get off. And we're going to make a delicious soup out of that, y'all. That flavor is spot on. So I'm going to put that back up until I come back in here and get my crock pot hot. Don't throw away nothing, honey. Take these rotisserie chicken bones with that flavor that has flavored these Asian spring rolls. Lord have mercy. That flavor going to be making us a delicious soup. Let's put that up. I have some green onions left over. This morning I had took a lot of the coleslaw cabbage mix and I made me a personal salad with just fresh jalapeno peppers, tomatoes, and Caesar salad dressing. So now that I've got these green onion tops left over, my salad's made, I'm just going to put them in there. Put them in there. In my fresh salad. Okay? Now let's clean this up real quick so we can make our sauce for our spring rolls. We're going to take our rice papers that we didn't use. I think I made, 13. So take your rice paper that's left over. Put them in a quart freezer bag. Or I'm just taking one of the bags that I get from Walmart or Kroger's when I go to get my vegetables. I recycle the papers. Not the papers, but the bags. And see this size bag? Look at that. So if I buy like 5 jalapeno peppers, I put them in one of these bags from Walmart or Kroger, and I get home, take out my little peppers, and then I can use this bag again. Perfect size for my rice paper. Remember, the recipe is on the back if you get the right one. And no air. And you simply store your rice papers in your pantry. You do not have to refrigerate your rice papers. I put them in here with no air and put them in the pantry and use them Sometimes I've let them be in there for 3 months. It's rice paper, so they're good. Just like if you got a bag of rice in your pantry, just make sure that no air gets to your rice paper. So I normally put them in a freezer bag and then put another bag over it. But I'm out of freezer bags, so I just simply wrapped it up in one of these. Into the pantry. Let's get ready to make the sauce. Alright, let's just wipe up this area. And then let's make our peanut sauce. And of course, like I said, if you've got peanut allergies, then you don't have to use this recipe. Just come up with your own sauce. Google it. YouTube it. Or buy whatever you like. But this is the sauce that I'm going to make today. Okay, we're going to start out with about a 1/4 cup of peanut butter. About a 1/4 cup of peanut butter. About a tablespoon of pure sesame oil. This is very strong. So if you get the pure, be careful. It is very strong. Actually, I'm not even going to use a tablespoon. I'm going to go right under a tablespoon. Ooh. Oh, my goodness. The pure sesame oil is very strong, but it goes a long way. It does not take much of this to flavor a whole pan of food. Especially if you're making like your at-home Chinese food takeout. Get the pure sesame oil. Worth it, because you can keep one bottle for, to be honest, probably about 6 months or more if you like to flavor your food well. Y'all, this lasts, sometimes it lasts for about 9 months because it doesn't take that much. It is pure sesame oil. So a little bit less than a 1/2 of a tablespoon of that. Now normally you put oyster sauce in this. I don't have oyster sauce. I've got a little bit of teriyaki with sesame and ginger. Yeah, it's a little bit. But I'm not going to even put that in there right now. I'm just going to put in the sweet chili sauce with my sesame oil and my peanut butter. And then if I think I need the teriyaki sauce, because I don't want my sauce to taste like pure teriyaki, because that teriyaki sauce is strong too, y'all. Now your Asian sweet chili sauce, you can go to town on it. I'm going to be very liberal with that. Very liberal. Oh, the sweet smell. Smells so good and delicious, y'all. This is so good. And then last but not least, I've got the real chili garlic sauce. Lord have mercy. It's good. I'm going to put, now that's another thing. I got to be careful with this too, y'all. I love spicy, but this can be overpowering too. But I love it. The real Asian chili garlic sauce. Yes, it is. I'm going to go with 2 heaping tablespoons because I like this stuff so much. I marinate my meat in it too, y'all. And did you know that you can freeze this? Back in 2020, well, we all know what happened during the pandemic. Y'all, I could buy a small thing of chili garlic sauce, $2.36. Now, the same container costs $6. So what I did was, I went and bought the restaurant container. And the restaurant size container is like a gallon. Literally, it's taller than a gallon of milk. And I paid $16 for it. Because I said, why am I going to buy something that's this size bottle for $2.36. Then once we had the pandemic, a little bottle went up to $5. I said, I refuse. And y'all, I ended up buying the restaurant size container of this chili garlic seasoning. And guess what? I paid $16 for it, and I froze it. I kept me out like a small jar. And what I do when I need some, I've got them in these little old containers. And y'all, it freezes well. You know what? Sometimes you got to take what's before you and make it work. With that big old, when I walked up to the counter with that giant thing of that chili garlic sauce, the cashier lady looked at me and she said, she started laughing. She was laughing because she was probably wondering, what is this lady going to do with all this chili garlic sauce? But guess what? Here we are, honey. I froze me little containers, big containers in between. And all I got to do is pull it out. And the flavor is still delicious. So get that big old container of chili garlic sauce, honey. Here's my big containers in the freezer. See that? So if I'm making a recipe like sauce tonight, I pull out the little one. If I'm making something where I need to marinate some meat or do like a barbecue or I want to give it to somebody, look, there it is, freezes well. Fresh, delicious. All right, y'all, we're finna wrap this up. All right, got those done. Let's put this up. Get that pure sesame seed oil. That pure sesame seed oil is absolutely delicious. Very flavorful. It's very strong though. Alright, let's stir up our sauce. And we're going to do dishes. We're going to talk about our Lord and Savior. And call it a night. Tonight my family had the option. Yesterday I made tostadas and hamburgers. So tonight my family had the option of leftover tostadas, burritos, because all you had to do is just take the meat, and I've got soft tortillas. Still got all the fixings. I even chopped up some extra onion and tomatoes this morning. And of course the hamburger. So we already know what they gonna choose. They gonna choose the tostadas, the burritos, and the hamburgers. We just know. So what I did, and that's why I put that jalapeno in the spring rolls, because I'm gonna be the one eating these. I can tell you that. But anyways, we got those made. They turned out absolutely delicious. We're gonna stir up our sauce. We're gonna wash the dishes and get out of here. God is so good, y'all. Such a wonderful provider. I see it every time I get on here. He goes before us. Let's go ahead and stir this up. He carries us when we need to be carried. You know, sometimes you have them days where, you know, it can be rough. Or maybe you didn't have a rough day, but maybe you know somebody that did. But sometimes we just need those days where even God would just carry us, so we don't even know we're being carried, because He's just that good. I'm going to stir up our sauce for our Asian spring rolls. Y'all, it smells so good. When you make your peanut sauce, try to make it early or a day before, because once those flavors emulsify, look at that, y'all. Let those flavors emulsify about a day before. You will have a sauce that people think you bought it. Where'd you get this peanut sauce from? Honey, I made it. So here's our salsa. And I'm going to let that sit in my refrigerator for probably an hour or so before I'm ready to dip it. And let me sample it. I'm going to add that teriyaki sauce. Normally oyster sauce, but I'm using teriyaki. I put a little bit too much peanut butter. There we go. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Now that's gonna be good. This is a good brand of teriyaki with sesame and ginger. It has 0 sugar. Get it from Kroger. Use it as a marinade and a sauce. And I love that. Very inexpensive too. I'm going to add me a little extra ginger, because I'm missing that kick. A little bit of ground ginger. Smells good already. I like for my sauces to be flavorful. Organic ground ginger from Walmart, $2. Now let's try it again. There we go. See, I don't like a thick sauce. I put too much peanut butter. Well, we can always fix it. Put a little bit more sauce in there, some more ginger. It's still a little bit thicker than what I like, but I don't want to add too much more to it, because then I might mess it up. So this is going to be good. This is our peanut sauce. Like I said, it's still a little thick for me, but we're going to work with it right now. Let's taste it. We're going to let it sit in the refrigerator for about an hour. That smells so good, y'all. Let's taste it again now. That's it right there. Ooh-wee. That's it. That did that. Perfect. Ooh, that's good. Alright. Put up our peanut sauce. Y'all, let's wash these dishes. Put up our spring rolls. Put up our sauce. So, let me get set up to wash these dishes. I'm fixing to have to dip one of these again. This is the one I bit off of earlier. Like I said, they're mine anyways. I can't wait, so I gotta try one with the sauce now. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Oh my God. Shut your mouth. Y'all, it's so good. It's so good. So delicious. I'm not exaggerating, but it tastes better than a restaurant, y'all. That homemade peanut sauce, that rotisserie chicken flavor, and those spring rolls, y'all, I'm not kidding. If I hadn't made these myself and know that I stood here and made these, I would be like, wow, what restaurant did you get these from? Well worth it, y'all. Oh my God. Y'all, let me show them to you again. Woo, Lord have mercy. I must say, I gotta pat myself on the back. I'm not kidding, y'all. Homemade spring rolls. Didn't take that much, but look how many they made. Very generous. Very generous sizes of spring rolls. Very generous. Simple, easy. Rotisserie chicken. That flavor's in there. Homemade peanut sauce. I like it a little thinner, but the flavor is there. I needed my oyster sauce, but that teriyaki did it. And a little bit of extra ginger. Amazing, y'all. I really want to eat another one right now. I'm not kidding. These are calling my name with this fresh sauce. Oh, Lord. But I need to wash these dishes first. I need to wash dishes first because, y'all, my family going to be in here eating burritos and leftover hamburgers and leftover tostadas. I'm going to be enjoying these. Like I said, I want to get started now, but let me finish up my stuff, y'all, because once Mama go in the room, Mama ain't coming out the room for a while. And y'all, it's so funny. I told y'all my last live, you know, all jokes aside, seemed like as soon as I clean up everything and, you know, I always get things ready for my family. I don't care if we have peanut butter sandwiches, peanut butter and crackers, cheese and crackers, bologna sandwiches. I try my best to come in because God is so good to me. And I make it pleasurable. If I'm making bologna sandwiches, I make them pretty. I lay it out if you want cheese, lettuce, tomato. Because I'm so thankful and grateful. Anything that God gives me and my family, let me tell you something. Like I said, if it's cheese and crackers, bologna, I love bologna. Whatever God gives us, I make it pleasing for my family. Because God is so good. So when my babies and my grown folks come to the table too, we might be having a big pot of pinto beans with a little bit of meat. But nobody notices because when I put that presentation out there, Mama is up in here making stuff look good. If we're having our bologna sandwiches, like I said, I love bologna. Whatever we having, I present it to where I want to eat it and my family want to eat it. And we're thankful and we're grateful and we're humble. Always remember that. Wherever you're living, it could be a cardboard box right now. Even if you're sleeping in your car, I've done that too years ago. Y'all, I got to tell y'all this story. I'm going to go and tell it. It's okay. Wherever you are, make the most of who you are. First of all, make the most of the Lord God, who sent His Son, Jesus, that will always take care of you. Make the most of what you got in your life, because there's somebody sitting somewhere right now. And if you're complaining about what you have or don't have, it's somebody that would love to be in your spot. I'm going to tell you a quick story time. I told you I don't talk about it unless the Holy Spirit put it on me, so let's do it. But let me put this up. Y'all, these spring rolls ain't no joke tonight. Y'all, I'm probably going to eat about half of these. They taste delicious, and so does the sauce. Let me put these up. I'm going to move the camera, and we're going to wash these dishes, and I'm going to go into a story time of when you got to do what you got to do and make the most of it. Got our spring rolls in. We got our delicious peanut sauce. I'm going to put this over that bowl because I don't have a top for that bowl. Well, God, won't you do it? Can't you do it? Didn't you do it? Always. Always thank the Lord. Baby. Honey, honey. Let me move the camera. And we're going to wash dishes. And I'm going to tell y'all, like a decision, choice, whatever you want to call it, that I had to do for my own sake. It was years ago that it happened, but it still happened. And it's very important that I talk about it. I ain't going to go into too much detail, though. All right. I love it when it be clean, y'all. I love a clean place. One thing about whatever you got, keep that clean. You ain't got to have much. Like I said, I had to sleep in my car at one period of time, and I kept that clean. Hold on. Ooh, them peppers got my allergies going. Okay. We're going to start washing dishes. There we go. I made some more coffee, y'all. I can't help myself. Mm-mm-mm. Last coffee for the night so I can get some sleep. All right. I want to talk to you about something. Now, this is my story. And you don't have to insert yourself into it. Making sure this refrigerator's clean. But my story, you don't have to insert yourself into it. I'm going to turn off one of these lights while I'm cleaning up. You can't see me over here really that much anyways, but all I'm doing is fixing to be washing dishes. But I'm going to turn this light out while I'm doing this. But one thing I want to talk about is when I was going through a situation. This was back in the day. And it ended up being, y'all, it is dark in here. Hold on. Let me turn that light back on. It's too dark. Ooh, that pepper got me. Y'all, I put that, that jalapeno pepper. Thank you, God. So good. I love spicy. Y'all put that jalapeno pepper in them spring rolls. My allergies done opened up. My God. Let me show y'all what I did this morning. If you missed that live, go watch it. My green onions that I normally take the white parts too, but this time I didn't because I was making those spring rolls. If you want to grow more onions, take you about ½ inch of water, put them in a jar. You see that? So those same green tops of those green onions, I normally take the white part and cut them down too, but I'm growing me some, so just put them off in a little jar, or I'm just using a drinking glass. And guess what? They will start to grow back green onions. So, but let me tell you something. Like I said, this is just my story that I'm sharing for me. And this was a few years back. Like I said, the spring rolls, Lord have mercy. That jalapeno. Ooh, that jalapeno got me going, y'all. I ain't gonna even have to take no Sudafed tonight. Y'all, just that little bit of, well, it wasn't a little bit. I put about 3 or 4 pieces of jalapeno peppers in my spring rolls I just made. Y'all, I got 1 jalapeno left. I am in dire straits. I used the jalapeno peppers, y'all, just like this. I didn't take those seeds out or nothing. These things are huge. God have mercy. Woo, but they done opened up my sinuses, so I ain't got to take no allergy medicine tonight, y'all. Ooh, but that jalapeno is worth it, y'all. Worth it. But anyways, a few years back, I went through a situation, and like I said, this is my situation, okay? I went through a situation that I was in a marriage that let's just say, I'm trying to choose my words carefully because I am on YouTube. I went through a marriage that I had been in the marriage for a while. Woo, the jalapeno tearing my butt up. But it got to a point to where me and my ex-husband, we went through some trials and tribulations. And when we went through those trials and tribulations, we both became different people. The one thing I got to talk about is when we became different people, neither one of us wanted to be in a marriage anymore. And the thing that bothered me the most, I'm going to go and tell the story. I don't care who's listening. It's my story and I can tell it. But when I knew things were coming to an end for me and my then husband, one of his family members needed a kidney. This is a true story. One of his family members was going to die without a kidney. He was on the donor list. If you know anything about being on a donor list for any kind of organ, you can be on there for 10 years and die before you get it. So me and my then husband, he said, you know what? I want to give so-and-so a kidney. I said, okay, I'll support you. Now, mind you, the relative that he was giving the kidney to has showed his royal butt. And I'm just going to tell the truth because I done showed my royal butt before. But the relative that he chose to give the kidney to, and I ain't saying he took life for granted, but he was showing out, doing some stuff. And I asked my then husband, I said, you sure you want to do this? He said, yeah, I want him to live. I said, okay. Then I'm all for it. Let's do it. Got tested. Y'all, even the testing phase took about 3, 4, 5 months. You have to go through all this. The donor has to go through all kind of tests to see if you got high blood pressure, diabetes, anxiety, or your kidneys okay, your bladder, your liver. Y'all, they put you through like everything. And after my ex-husband went through all that, and they said, yeah, you're a match. You passed all the tests. You can donate this kidney to your relative. Yeah, the relative, like I said, and I ain't going to pass no judgment because I don't want no judgment passed on me. But the relative that he donated the kidney to, y'all, Lord have mercy. This is true story. I don't care, I'm going to tell it. Yeah, we up in the hospital. Now, me and my husband, ex-husband, was organized. We ready. Done all the testing, blah, blah, blah. Because when you're going to be a donor, you've got to be on it. Everything got to be on point from your, pre-testing, post-testing, even your aftercare, giving the kidney. But remember, you living out one kidney now because you saving somebody else's life. So I'm in there with my ex-husband and y'all, Lord have mercy. The relative that my ex-husband gave the kidney to, y'all, on the morning after the surgery, everybody was in there. Not no everybody, a few of us. And they were like, Miss So-and-so, your husband asking for you. He want to see you. And I went in there and I saw my ex-husband, y'all, and y'all, I felt so bad because my ex-husband was, to me, a nice man. He was a nice man. He was nice to me up until the very end, but there's a reason for that too, and I'm going to tell you. But when I went in there and saw my ex-husband laying up in there, kidney done been pulled out to save his relative that had been showing out, and I ain't trying to be funny, but took advantage of his kidney. And the relative, well, ex-relative, I said it right. Y'all, after the kidney surgery went through, and at the time my husband was asking for me, and then I said, I'm so proud of you, my love. And I was proud of him for saving his relative. And y'all, here come the drama at the hospital. Who has drama at the doggone hospital? A major hospital. It don't matter, just drama. Y'all, I'm up in there, didn't leave the hospital with my ex-husband. I'm like, my man laying up in here. My man done gave a piece of his body to save another person. And I'm like, I ain't going nowhere until I know my man is okay. And the doctors was even saying, well, ma'am, it might take several days for, him to, get better. And you may as well go home and get you some sleep and come back. And when he's ready to release, basically, y'all, he had to have a bowel movement. So after you have a surgery, which is common for any surgery, the doctors will not release you until you have a bowel movement. Now, mind you, my man at the time, my ex-husband, you done had a whole kidney taken out of you. So he was laying up there in anxiety. And I'm going to tell you why it was anxiety. But I never left that hospital because that's the kind of person that I was. That's the kind of wife I was. But just as a human being, you done gave life to somebody, spared their life that was kind of short now, wasn't no kind of was showing out. And now my husband laying up in there, ex-husband, suffering and couldn't go home. And we on day number 6 now. Should have been a 3-day process in, everything fine, vitals check out. Have a bowel movement, they check you again, your vitals, bam, you go home with aftercare. It didn't happen with my husband. That was the donor. Baby, let me tell you something. I didn't leave that hospital. Everybody was saying, go home, go get some rest, and we'll call you when he's better. And I said, I'm not leaving my man, honey. And I wasn't leaving him because he was so kind and sweet to do that, and God put it on his heart to save his relative life. And I said, I'm not going to leave this man by himself. He's my friend. He was my friend before he was my fiance. He's my friend before he became my husband. 2 years later. And I said, I'm not going to leave him up in here by himself. He trying to help somebody else to live. I'm not going to walk away from him like that. I said, God don't walk away from us. I'm not going to walk away from him. I say, when he leave, I'll leave. Y'all, the person that my ex-husband had donated the kidney to was down there cussing at the nurses. True story. Clowning the nurses. Clowning his wife. Acting crazy. They giving him Jell-O. He talking about somebody put something in the Jell-O. Y'all, the person that my ex-husband donated that kidney to, down there on the 3rd floor acting a gosh darn fool. Y'all, it got to the point, he talked to his wife bad. Beautiful woman. Y'all, beautiful woman inside and out. He talked to her bad. Then, y'all, when the nurses brought him that Jell-O, because he couldn't have another Jell-O, he talked about the nurses put something in his Jell-O. And I finally went down there. I said, you got to be lying to me. I said, I know he ain't laying down here. You done got a fresh start. You done got a fresh kidney. People on the donors list forever. You down here acting a fool up in this hospital after somebody done saved your life and you was clowning before. You got this new kidney and you down here clowning your wife. And then you clowning these nurses. Yeah, I went down there. Now, true story, he laying down there looking crazy. I'm tell the truth. And I saw the devil. And when I went down there, because see, I've been staying up there on the 6th floor with my husband, ex-husband now. And I'm trying to see about him. But then after my ex-sister-in-law said, well, baby, she said, I got kicked out the hospital and he done climbed the nurses. I said, you got to be kidding me. And I said, this dude done got a whole new lease on life. his own person in his family done gave him a kidney and he down there acting crazy? She said, yes. I said, I got to see this for myself. Y'all, I went down there. Now, this don't even make sense, y'all. I get down there and I walk in the room and I'm looking at him. And I said, hey, how you doing? He talking about, What kind of reaction? Somebody done gave you life. God done gave you another chance at life. So I walk up in the room. I said, hey, so-and-so, how you doing? You are a liar, Satan. I said, well. And then I hate to say it, but I went into David mode in the Bible. If you don't know nothing about David, y'all, that David will get with you. And I went into that mode in my mind. Now, I didn't do it to him physically, but in my mind, I said to myself, you done got up in here, God done gave you a whole lease on life again. You been showing out. And now somebody in your family generously donates a kidney to you so that you can continue life. And all you can do is lay up down here and act a fool in this hospital with your wife. And I walk up in here, this is my ex-husband that's done gave you the kidney. I done had to go through hell and back with him, getting everything done medically. And I walk in there and say, how you doing? I said, you are the devil. That's all I said in my mind. I didn't say it to him. I wanted to say it to him, but I said, you are the devil. That's what I said in my mind. You are an ever-loving, stinking devil. And honey, let me tell you, I went back up those 6 flights of stairs, rode the elevator, and I went in there to my husband, ex-husband. I said, honey, you need to go and have this bowel movement so we can get you out this hospital and go home. It's time for us to go home. And he looked at me and he was like, I'm trying. I said, you're going to have to try harder, baby. Because I said, your relative down there feeling so good with his kidney transplant that you done gave him a piece of your body to keep him alive. I said, he got the nerve to go down there and disrespect the nurses, his wife, and everybody else. I said, he's not even grateful. I said, he must be crazy. I said, but we finna go. So I said, whatever you need to do, we got to go, honey. Because we're out of here. I said, you done your best. And I said, I support you. And I said, but we've been here 6 days and he feeling good enough to clown and act a fool and disrespect folks. I said, but we finna go. Y'all, my ex-husband could not have a bowel movement for nothing. He just tried and tried. Y'all, he just couldn't do it. And then I finally got up that 6th day and I said, I love you. I said, but I got to go home. I need to get a real shower, a real bath. I need to check on the house. I said, I need to just check on everything. And I said, I didn't want to leave without you. I say, but it's 6 days. And your own relative that you gave the kidney to is down there feeling so doggone good that he's acting a fool and clowning folks and being disrespectful. And I said, I do have to go. And y'all, I took them car keys that day. When I pulled out that hospital, I felt horrible. I cried all the way home. When I pulled out that parking garage, that was the hardest thing. Because I was like, Lord, I don't understand this. You know, my husband at the time then gave up one of his own body parts to save, you know, the relative. And then the relative down there, you clowning the doctors and nurses, your wife. And I said, I don't understand that, God. I said, that ain't right, Lord. And on that drive home, the Lord said, it ain't got to be right. Just know that your husband, ex-husband now, did the right thing. And I went home, y'all. True story. I went home to the house. My daughter at the time was still alive. And my baby was in college. And so I went home to the house. And I was kind of scared because we hadn't been in the house for 6 days. We was at the hospital. So I was kind of scared to go in. So y'all rode around the house. Old school it, baby. Rode around the house. Made sure had nobody broke in and all that. And then I finally Opened the door and went inside. And that's because when I left, I didn't mean to leave there without my husband at the time. But I said, I'm not going to do it. Your relative down there ain't even thankful and grateful that he got a second chance and a lease on life. You done gave up your kidney and now you down here suffering. But I just said, Lord, I want to go in, check on the house, take me a good old hot bath, and I need to debrief, Lord. And y'all, I rode around the house. I circled the house about 10 times, by the way. I said, okay, look like everything's all right. I went in there by myself, and then I just breathed a sigh of relief. I was so thankful and grateful, and I say, thank you, Lord. Y'all got in there, stripped down out of my clothes. I had been at that hospital for 6 days. Now, you know, when you at a hospital, or even if you don't, they have a shower. It ain't like you taking your shower and your bath at home. You know, where you get up in your tub, your shower, and got your products there, and wash your hair and all that. It's not like that. You're doing the basics to keep your body clean, you know, if you're in a hospital setting. So I done been there for 6 days, and I'm like, I need to go see about myself as a woman. And I did. And after I got in there and set that house alarm, baby, got on up in there and soaked my body. I was in that tub for about an hour, y'all. And then I started thinking about my husband. I said, God, how is it that somebody that, you know, the clown and acted a fool, go on the donors list, relative is a compatible person, and then the one that give the kidney go through hell, and the other one down there that's going to be given a lease on life clowning. Well, let me tell you, I sat there in that tub for about an hour. Like I said, we're finna go in the room, y'all, and I'm gonna get off here because I know my battery going down. But I tell you, that was the most horrific thing that happened, and I didn't understand, but I didn't need to understand it. Okay, we got it clean in here, y'all. We're finna get ready to go in the room. But by the grace of God, after I sat in that tub for about an hour, and the Lord spoke with me, He said it doesn't matter who the kidney went to, whether it went to someone that is unapologetic, somebody that is not thankful and grateful, and was already crazy and talking to the hospital staff and their wife crazy too. He said, God said, don't matter. It's the heart of the person that gave the kidney, you know, which was my now ex-husband. All I can tell you, it tore our marriage apart, y'all. It tore our marriage apart. And it tore our marriage apart because my ex-husband, to me, was a good guy. He was just a nice person. He tried to see about people. And the thing is, once that happened, it made me think about and look at people differently. When God spare your life and you still act a fool, and I've done that too now. I've messed up my grace, but it tore me and my ex-husband apart. And I was so hurt because as soon as I got home, got that good old bath, soaked in that tub, been in there 6 days with my ex-husband, the doctor called and said, your husband had a bowel movement. He can come home. Come pick him up. And I have to speak on that because, like I said, I was there for 6 days. I wasn't leaving my man. He did a good thing for his relative, and the relative down there clowning and acting a fool. But the thing that the Lord showed me was that no matter what, do what you're supposed to do, and you be the right person. You be the right person. You do the right thing. And don't worry about the rest. And if I tell y'all, that's how I ended up not being married to that man anymore, because his relatives wanted to come over and sit with him all this time. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. And I'm going to stand my ground and I'll do it again. But I sat there for those 6 days in that hospital with my ex-husband that he gave this kidney to the person that was showing out up in there. And then the family wanted to come over and sit at our house. And I was like, no, I've had enough. I've had enough. We've been at the hospital for 6 days. Y'all came in there one time at 11 o'clock at night when the man trying to sleep done just gave up a kidney. And now y'all want to come here. I said, no. And I told my ex-husband, this is what broke us up, the beginning. I said, no. You gave a kidney to a relative that got up in here and acted a fool at the hospital with his own wife, with his own relative and the doctors. And I said, you sitting up here, laying up in here suffering, can't even get out of there because you going through stuff, can't use the restroom and get home. But he down there doing good enough to act a fool. And honey, let me tell you something. Woo-wee. Y'all had to take this hot wig off. Good God, that thing hot. Better put my do-rag on. But that started the demise of the marriage because when I told him, I said, that's not right. It's not right for your relative that you gave a portion of your body to save their lives, but they still down here clowning in front of everybody. And you down here suffering for 6 days, should have been out the hospital. I said, no, that's not right. And then his relatives, well, we gonna come over and sit. No, you not. Not in my house. And I told him no. I did. Because I'm like, if that's going on, you don't come up here one time at 11 o'clock at night while the man's sleeping now, finally. You're not going to come sit up in my house after everything is done a week later. The man done suffer and sit up in my house. No, I bet you won't. I'm a Christian and I love the Lord, but you're not going to take advantage of me for that. And you're supposed to be a Christian too. You're not going to come after everything is done and over and sit up in my house. And then, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours, you will not. And I stood my ground. And I told my ex-husband, I said, no, your family came up there one time at 11 o'clock at night after they had went out to eat now. You done had all day to come see about your brother. But you roll up in there after you done went out to eat and all this stuff, then coming up in there 11 o'clock at night when the man tried to sleep. I said, no, you're not going to come in my house doing it. I said, I can't control that hospital, but I can control my house. And I told him no. And I didn't welcome them in. And I don't regret that to this day because you don't do that. You don't treat people like that. Somebody in the hospital for 6 days donating a kidney to another relative that's acting a fool. You come up there one time after you done been out to eat and then you stopping by at 11 o'clock at night. I don't think so. You will not set foot in my home, and I'm strong on that one, and I didn't. And after that, me and my ex-husband, let's just say it went down to a demise, honey. And I don't regret it because I said, it's your family or me. It's your family or me. And I'm supposed to be your family. God first, husband, wife, children, etc. And I said, it's your family or me. And I don't tolerate it, honey. I'm from the old school. I don't tolerate that. And I said, I'll never tolerate that in my home. You can, but I won't. And I live here. And I said, I ain't going to do it with you. And I say, because if they don't come up here and see about you after you've helped someone in the family and then went out to eat and all that, you ain't going to come sit in my house for no 5 hours, honey. And I just told him they'll have to come back later. And I told them too. He's resting. I said he didn't get any rest at the hospital. He's resting. And that's when my husband, when he got well, you shut my family out. I said, your family shut you out too. They wasn't the ones seeing about you. I was there seeing about you. And y'all, it was a choice made. And me and my ex-husband went through it. And I finally got up and said, you know what? If I care about you more than you care about yourself, then you don't need me. And I am such a strong human being. And it ain't my strength, it's God's. I said, I'm leaving here. Never ever in my life, honey. I said, all I need is my Jesus. I said, I'm leaving here. If you want to sit there and go through that and then be mad at me Because I'm not going to let your family come sit up in there. No, 5 hours. If you could sit 5 hours after the surgery and we get home, you could have set yourself up in there for the 5 hours or 6 days that I did. 24 hours, 6 days, and then had to go back and pick my husband up when he finally could use the restroom. So I'm like, you done lost your mind. So I was like, for my ex-husband, I'm like, well, but baby, you made the choice. But they not going to sit up in here in this one, not this home that I made. You couldn't come to the hospital. You can't come sit up over here now when things are great. Bye. And guess what? I left. Sure did. I went through one of the most devastating times in my life. I had my own business. I had my own vehicles. My daughter was in college, doing well. She was alive at that time. And I just said, you got the right one. And I left, y'all. I got up cold turkey. Y'all, it was so strong to where when I left that house. And I went and started sleeping at my business that I owned at that time. Because my business had everything I needed up there. And I stayed there. And then I had 2 vehicles at the time. I lost one because I had to let one go. I couldn't afford it. And then I got down to my business and another transportation that I had, another car. And then I said, Lord, I got to let something go because I couldn't afford it by myself. So finally I had to let my business go, my money. But I had to because I said, Lord, I done let one piece of transportation go. I said, Lord, I can't let the other one go. I'm already sleeping at my business. And I just said, well, so be it then, Lord. And I let the business go too. And I kept the other car, which I ended up sleeping in. So within a year's time, y'all, I lost every single thing that I had except for my God and my mind. And guess what? To this day, I don't regret a single thing. I don't regret none of it because I had to take a stand. If you don't see about yourself and take a stand and love yourself, nobody will accept you. And you'll be a little old lady or man sitting somewhere letting people take advantage of you, and it's nobody's fault but yours. And God don't say we have to go through, those type of situations. And I just said, hey, after what I went through with that man and all that stuff with the family, I said, I cannot do it. I'm out of here. And I mean it. And I ain't never looked back. It's been 11 years now. And I would go through it again because I would never do that again. I would rather not. Let's just say that. It's not even worth it. But anyways, that's your story time for tonight. Y'all, my battery finna go out. Have a wonderful, blessed night tonight. You may see me pop up again. Join the family. Just know that God loves you. And He sees your needs. And you trust in God, my beloved.